assortment of eclectic, 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 ASMR. This is the bedtime lo-fi ASMR setup, but it's actually kind of the evening time lo-fi ASMR setup. It's been a really overcast day, and it's been really slow and kind of I guess a relaxation kind of day. And I decided that I would film a tiny bit earlier. Generally, I try to film after kind of like bedtime-ish, or like at bedtime, like 9 o'clock or something like that. But right now it's only like it's like 4:40 or something like that, and I just thought I would, because it's relaxing, and it's been kind of a slower day, which is nice. And the reason why I've got this kind of weird angle is because this video is the what if it's us, reading video. The what if it's us, reading video. Now, I kind of thought, should I do this as like a book club thing, but I'm not gonna get all of you to go out and buy a book, so I think I'll just continue doing it like I did the Sunbearer Trials thing, where I read the first chapter to you, and then whenever I end up finishing this, I'm not gonna put like a timestamp on it, just because I don't like deadlines for reading. I kind of read at my own pace, but then I'll come back once I finish this book and just give you like a little synopsis, a little review, and then that way that's kind of fun, because I love doing book videos. It's such a big passion of mine, so it's like, why not bring that here also? It's a great way to get this thing started, so that I can, like, at least I have a chapter done, at least then I am sort of into it, and I'm ready to move forward with it. This book does have a sequel, and I'm thinking that depending on how well this book goes, maybe I'll get the sequel, or maybe I'll get through a few of my other books as well. But you all saw this book in that Indigo haul that I did, It is by two authors. The first author, Becky Albertalli, who is the author of Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda, which is a book you think I would have read, but I actually haven't. And I'm not sure why. Like, I know it's it's a huge book. It's probably, other than Red, White, and Royal Blue, probably one of the biggest books of, like the biggest LGBTQ sort of romance book out there. And the second author is Adam Silvera, who's the author of They Both Die at the End, which I have not read. I also have not read, but it is incredibly popular as well. And I think that novel is one that, when I used to teach, like when I did the lifeguarding club, when I was a coach for that, there were a few kids who were reading it, and they absolutely loved it. So I think maybe that's one that I'll have to pick up. So I'll just read you the blurb, and then we'll get into the first chapter. So, Arthur is only in New York for the summer, but if Broadway has taught him anything, it's that the universe can deliver a show-stopping romance when you least expect it. Ben thinks the universe needs to mind its business. If the universe had his back, he wouldn't be on his way to the post office carrying a box of his ex-boyfriend's things. But when Arthur and Ben meet cute at the post office, what exactly does the universe have in store for them? Maybe nothing. After all, they get separated. Maybe everything. After all, they get reunited. But what if they can't quite nail the first date? Or a second date? Or a third? What if Arthur tries too hard to make it work and Ben doesn't try hard enough? What excited. I'm very excited. I'm very excited to get into this book. Kind of like I talked about with the Sunbearer Trials, I try to read, I would say, let's see what's on my bookshelf. I probably end up reading around 85% of all of my books have some sort of LGBTQ themes, whether or not it's like genderqueer theming, whether or not it is to do with orientation. I really want to find a good book that deals with asexuality and aromanticism, because I find those ends of the spectrum very relatable. So I would like to find, some good representation for people like me. I really do. I love reading gay romance. As a person who is, that way, it's fun to see. And I also think, I have read a couple characters in a few books who have been quite coded towards asexuality, but I've never actually seen like a book that explores it, so that'll be interesting to try to look for. But let's get into it. Okay. So, on the first, just like the first page in, there's a little sort of character moment there. I think I'll hold it like this, which says, Arthur, I believe in love at first sight, fate, the universe, all of it, but not how you're thinking. I don't mean it in the our souls were split, and you're my other half forever and ever sort of way. I just think you're meant to meet some people. I think the universe nudges them into your path. Ben, this is New York, so post office Arthur won't pop up into my life again. I guess that's fine. It's not like something could have really happened between us. Thanks for nothing, universe. The next page is just a title page, and then a little bit about the authors, Becky and Albert Holly and Adam Silvera. What if it's us? Let's see. Okay, so the little thank you at the beginning is for Andrew, the dedication is for Andrew Eliopoulos and Donna Bray, who made our universe bigger. Now, okay. Part one. What if? Chapter 1. This one doesn't have like any sort of art on it like the Sunbearer Trials did, but I don't mind that too much. Although the Sunbearer Trials was probably one of the most beautifully presented books I've read in a while. Okay, there. So Chapter 1. This is from Arthur's point of view. Monday, July 9th. I am not a New Yorker, and I want to go home. There are so many unspoken rules when you live here, like the way you're never supposed to stop in the middle of the sidewalk to stare dreamily up at tall buildings, or pause to read graffiti. No giant folding maps, no fanny packs, no eye contact, no humming songs from Dear Evan Hansen in public, and you're definitely not supposed to take selfies at street corners, even if there's a hot dog stand and a whole line of yellow taxis in the background, which is eerily how you always pictured New York. You're allowed to silently appreciate it, but you have to be cool. From what I can tell, that's the whole point of New York, being cool. I'm not cool. Take this morning. I made the mistake of glancing up at the sky just for a moment, and now I can't unstick my eyes. Looking up from this angle, it's like the world's tipping inward, dizzyingly tall buildings and a bright fireball sun. It's beautiful. I'll give New York credit for that. It's beautiful and surreal and absolutely nothing like Georgia. I tilt my phone up to snap a picture, not an Instagram story, no filters, nothing drawn out. One tiny, quick picture. Instantaneous pedestrian rage. Jesus, come on, move, fucking tourists. Literally, I take a 2-second photograph and now I'm an obstruction personified. I'm responsible for every subway delay, every road closure, the very phenomenon of wind resistance sightseeing stroll at noon on a Monday. I'm at work. I mean, I'm on a Starbucks run, but it counts. Maybe I'm taking the long way. Maybe I need a few extra minutes away from Mom's office. Normally, being an intern is more boring than terrible, but today is unquite uniquely shitty. You know, that kind of day where the printer runs out of paper, and there's none in the supply room, so you try to steal some from the copier, but you can't get the drawer open, and then you push some wrong button and the copier starts beeping, and you're standing there thinking that whoever invented copy machines is this close to getting their ass kicked by you, a 5'6" Jewish kid with ADHD and the rage of a tornado. That kind of day. Yeah. And all I want to do is vent to Ethan and Jesse, but I still haven't figured out how to text while walking. I step off the sidewalk near the entrance to a post office, and wow, they don't make post offices like this in Milton, Georgia. It's got a white stone exterior with pillars and brass accents. It's so painfully classy, I almost feel underdressed, and I'm wearing a tie. I text the sunny street picture to Ethan and Jesse. Rough day at the office. Jesse writes back immediately, I hate you and I want to be you. Here's the thing. Jesse and Ethan have always been my best friends since the dawn of time, and I've always been real Arthur with them. Lonely, messy Arthur, as opposed to upbeat Instagram Arthur. But for some reason, I need them to think my New York life is awesome. I just do. So I've been sending them upbeat Instagram Arthur texts for weeks, and I don't know if I'm really selling it though. Also, I miss you. Jessie writes, throwing down a whole line of kissy emojis. She's like my bubba in a 16-year-old body. She'd text a lipstick smudge. Onto my cheek if she could. The weird thing is that we've never had one of those ooey gooey friendships, at least not until prom night. Which happens to be the night I told Jesse and Ethan I'm gay. I miss you guys too, I admit. Come home, Arthur! 4 more weeks, not that I'm counting. Ethan finally chimes in with the most ambiguous of all emojis, the grimace. Like, come on, the grimace. If post-prom Jesse texts like my bubba, post-prom Ethan texts like a mime. He's actually not so bad in the group text most of the time, but one-on-one, I'll just say my phone stopped blowing up with his text approximately 5 seconds after I came out. I'm not gonna lie, it's the crappiest feeling ever. One of these days I'm gonna call him out, and it's going to be soon. Maybe even today. Maybe. But then, the post office door swings open, revealing, no joke, a pair of identical twin men in matching rompers with handlebar mustaches. Ethan would love this, which pisses me off. This happens constantly with Ethan. A minute ago, I was ready to friend dump his emojily ambiguous ass. Now I just want to hear him laugh. A full emotional 180 in a span of 6 seconds. The twins amble past me and I see they both have man buns. Of course they have man buns. New York must be its own planet, I swear, because nobody even blinks. Except there's a boy walking toward the entrance holding a cardboard box, and he literally stops in his tracks when the twins walk by. He looks confused. I laugh out loud. Then he catches my eye. Then he smiles. And holy shit. I mean it. Holy mother of shit. Cutest boy ever. Maybe it's the hair, or the freckles, or the pingness of his cheeks. And I say this as someone who's never noticed another person's cheeks in my life. But his cheeks are worth noticing. Everything about him is worth noticing. Perfectly rumpled, light brown hair, fitted jeans, scuffed shoes, gray shirt, with the words Dream and Bean Coffee barely visible above the box he's holding. He's taller than me, which, okay, most guys are. He's still looking at me, but 20 points to Gryffindor because I managed to smile up at him. Do you think they parked their tandem bicycle at the mustache wax parlor? His startled laugh is so cute. It makes me lightheaded. Definitely the mustache wax parlor / art gallery / microbrewery, he says. For a minute, we grin at each other without speaking. Are you going in? He asks finally. I glance up at the door. Yeah, I do it and follow him into the post office. It's not even a decision. Or if it is, my body's already decided. There's There's something about him. It's this tug in my chest. It's this feeling like I have to know him, like it's inevitable. Okay, I'm about to admit something and you're probably gonna cringe. You're probably already cringing, but whatever, hear me out. I do believe in love at first sight. Fate, the universe, all of it, but not how you're thinking. I don't mean it in the our souls were split and you're my other half forever and ever sort of way. I just think you're meant to meet some people. I think the universe nudges them into your path, even on random Monday afternoons in July, even at the post office. But let's be real, this is no normal post office. It's big enough to be a ballroom, with gleaming floors and rows of numbered P.O. boxes and actual sculptures, like a museum. Box boy walks over to a short counter near the entrance, props the package beside him, and starts filling out a mailing label. So I swipe a priority mail envelope from a nearby rack and drift towards his counter. Super casual. This doesn't have to be weird, I just need to find the perfect words to keep this conversation going. To be honest, I'm normally really good at talking with strangers. I don't know if it's a Georgia thing or only an Arthur thing, but if there's an elderly man in a grocery store, I'm there price-checking prune juices for him. If there's a pregnant lady on an airplane, she's named her unborn kid after me by the time the plane lands. It's the one thing I have going for me. Or I did, until today. I don't even think I can form sounds. It's like my throat is caving in on itself. But I have to channel my inner New Yorker. Cool, nonchalant. I shoot him a tentative grin, deep breath. That's a big package. And shit, the words tumble out. I don't mean package, just your box is big. I hold my hands apart to demonstrate, because apparently that's the way to prove it's not an innuendo. By spreading my hands out, dick measuringly. Box boy furrows his brow. Sorry, I swear I don't usually comment on the size of other guys' boxes. He meets my eyes and smiles, just a little. Nice tie, he says. I look down at it, blushing. Of course I couldn't have worn a normal tie today. No, I'm wearing one from the Dad collection. Navy blue printed with hundreds of tiny hot dogs. At least it's not a romper, I say. Good point. He smiles again. So, of course, I notice his lips, which are shaped exactly like Emma Watson's lips. Emma Watson's lips, right there, on his face. So you're not from here, Box Boy says. I look up at him startled. How did you know? Well, you keep talking to me. Then he blushes. That came out wrong. I just mean it's usually only tourists who strike up conversations. Oh, I don't mind though, he says. I'm not a tourist. You're not. Okay, I'm not technically from here, but I live here now. Just for the summer, I'm from Milton, Georgia. Milton, Georgia, he smiles. I feel inexplicably frantic, like my limbs are weird and loose, and my head's full of cotton. I'm probably electric, bright red right now. I don't even want to know. I just need to keep talking. I know, right? Milton sounds like a Jewish great-uncle. I wasn't. I actually do have a Jewish great-uncle, Milton. That's whose apartment we're staying in. Who's we? You mean who do I live with? In my great-uncle Milton's apartment. He nods, and I just look at him. Like, who does he think I live with? My boyfriend. My 28-year-old smoldering hot boyfriend who has big gaping holes in his earlobes, and maybe a tongue piercing and a tattoo of my name on his pec. On both pecs. With my parents, I say quickly. My mom's a lawyer, and her firm is an office here, so she came up at the end of April for this case she's working on. And I totally would have come up then, but my mom was like, nice try, Arthur, you have a month of school left. But it ended up being for the best, because I guess I thought New York was going to be one thing, and it's really another thing. Now I'm kind of stuck here. I miss my friends, I miss my car, and I miss Waffle House. In that order. Well, mostly the car, I grin. We left it at my Bubba's house in New Haven. She lives right by Yale, which is hopefully my future school. Fingers crossed. It's like I can't stop talking. I guess you probably don't need my life story. I don't mind. Box boy pauses, balancing the box on his hip. Want to get in line? I nod, falling into step behind him. He shifts sideways to face me, but the box looms between us. He hasn't stuck the shipping label on yet. It's sitting on top of the package. I try to sneak a peek at the address, but his handwriting sucks and I can't read upside down. He catches me looking. Are you really nosing? Are you really nosy or something? He's watching me through unnarrowed eyes. Oh, I swallow, kind of. Yeah, that makes him smile. It's not that interesting. Leftovers from a breakup. Leftovers. Box Boy dates guys. And okay, wow, this doesn't happen to me. It just doesn't. But maybe the universe works differently in New York. Box Boy dates guys. I'm a guy. That's really cool. I say it perfectly casual, but then he looks at me funny and my hand flies to my mouth. Not cool. God, no. Breakups aren't cool. I'm so sorry for your loss. He's not dead. Oh, right, yeah. I exhale, hand resting for a moment on the retractable line barrier. Box Boy smiles tightly. Right, so you're one of those guys who gets weird around gay dudes. What? I yelp. No, not at all. Yeah, he rolls his eyes, glancing over my shoulder. I'm not, I say quickly. Listen, I'm gay. And the whole world stops. My tongue feels thick and heavy. I guess I don't say those words out loud all that often. I'm gay. My parents know, Ethan and Jesse know, and I kind of randomly told the summer associates at my mom's firm, but I'm not a person who goes around announcing it at the post office. Except apparently I kind of am. Oh, for real? Box Boy asks. For real, it comes out breathless. It's weird. Now, I want to prove it. I want some gay ID card to whip out like a cop badge. Or I could demonstrate in other ways. God, I would happily demonstrate. Box Boy smiles, his shoulders relaxing. Cool. And holy shit, this is actually happening. I can hardly catch my breath. It's like the universe willed this moment into existence. A voice booms from behind the counter. You in line or not? I look up to see a woman with a lip ring raining down the stink eye. No fucks given by this postal employee. Yo, Freckles, let's go. Box Boy shoots me a halting glance before stepping up to the counter. Already there's a line stretching out behind me and, okay, I'm not eavesdropping on Box Boy. Not exactly. It's more like my ears are drawn to his voice. His arms are crossed, shoulders tense. $26.50 for priority, says lip ring. $26.50, like $26. No, like $26.50. Box Boy shakes his head. That's a lot. That's what we got. Take it or leave it. For a moment, Box Boy just stands there. Then he takes the box back, hugging it to his chest. Sorry. Next, lip ring says. She beckons to me, but I swerve out of line. How is it $26.50 to send a package? Box Boy blinks. I don't know, that's messed up. Guess that's the universe saying I should hold on to it. The universe? Holy shit, he's a believer. He believes in the universe. And I don't want to jump to conclusions or anything, but Box Boy believing in the universe is definitely a sign from the universe. Okay, my heartbeat quickens, but what if the universe is actually telling you to throw his stuff away? That's not how it works. Oh really? Think about it. Getting rid of the box is plan A, right? The universe isn't going to thwart plan A, so I'll just have to go with another version of plan A, which is clearly the universe calling for plan B. And plan B is accepting that the universe is an asshole. The universe isn't an asshole. It is, trust me. How could you possibly know that? I know the universe has some fucked up plan for this box, but that's the thing. I stare him down. You don't actually know. You have no idea where the universe is going to go with this. Maybe the whole reason you're here is because the universe wanted you to meet me, so I could tell you to throw the box away. He smiles. You think the universe wanted us to meet? What? No, I mean, I don't know. That's the point. We have no way of knowing. Well, I guess we'll see how it plays out. He peers at the shipping label for a moment, then rips it in half, wadding it and tossing it into the trash. At least he aims for the trash, but it lands on the floor. Anyway, he says, are you? Excuse me, a man's voice reverberates through an intercom. Can I have your attention? I glance sidelong at Box Boy. Is this? There's a sudden squeal of feedback and a rising piano intro. Then a literal fucking marching band walks in. A marching band. People flood into the post office carrying giant drums and flutes and tubas, blasting a somewhat off-key rendition of that Bruno Mars song, Marry You. And now dozens of people, old people, people I thought were in line to buy stamps, have launched into a choreographed dance number with high kicks and hip thrusts and shimmying arms. Basically everyone who's not dancing is filming this, but I'm too stunned to even grab my phone. I mean, I don't want to read into too much into things, but wow, I meet a cute boy, and 5 seconds later I'm in the middle of a flash mob marriage proposal. Could this message from the universe be any clearer? The crowd parts, and a tattooed guy rolls in on a skateboard, skidding to a stop in front of the service desk. He's holding a jewelry box, but instead of taking a knee, he plants his elbows on the counter and beams up at lip ring. Elsie's black mascara tracks all the way down to her lip ring. Yes, she grabs his face for a tear-soaked kiss, and the crowd erupts into cheers. It hits me deep in my chest. It's that New York feeling like they talk about in musicals. That wide-open, top-volume Technicolor joy. Here I've spent the whole summer moping around and missing Georgia, but it's like someone just flipped a light switch into me. Inside me. I wonder if Box Boy feels it too. I turn toward him, already smiling, and my hands pressed to my heart. But he's gone. My hands fall limply. The boy is nowhere. His box is nowhere. I peer around, scanning every single face in the post office. Maybe he got pushed aside by the flash mob. Maybe he was a part of the flash mob. Maybe he had some kind of urgent appointment, so urgent he couldn't stop to get my number. He couldn't even say goodbye. I can't believe he didn't say goodbye. I don't know, it's stupid, but I thought we had some kind of moment. I mean, the universe basically scooped us up and delivered us to each other. That's what just happened, right? I don't even know how else you could interpret it, except he vanished. He's Cinderella at midnight. It's like he never even existed. And now I'll never know his name, or how my name sounds when he says it. I'll never get to show him that the universe isn't an asshole. Gone. Totally gone. And the disappointment hits me so hard I almost double over, until my eyes fall on the trash can. Okay, I'm not saying I'm going to dig through the trash. Obviously not. I'm a mess, but I'm not that messy. But maybe Box Boy is right. Maybe the universe is calling for Plan B. Here's my question. If a piece of trash never makes it into a trash can, can you even call it trash? Because let's just imagine that this is totally hypothetical. Let's say there's a crumpled shipping label on the floor. Is that trash? Or is it a glass slipper? And that is chapter 1. The next chapter is from Box Boy's perspective. His name is Ben. And let's just say, holy shit, I'm excited for this book. That is so tightly written. So much personality in that first chapter. There's a lot to love about this book, and I bet you that this is going to be one that I finish quickly. I really, really, really thank you for being here with me. Thank you for listening to me read. I did the 250 subscriber special, and we're already like blasting past that. So you all are amazing. You all are awesome. You all are people who I think are lovely, 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 and the universe should be sending